Welcome back, everyone, to the Slim Flippers podcast. I am Wes, and I'm joined today by the Daily Cabbage, Sarah. Sarah, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. We really appreciate you coming in.
No problem.
We've tried for several months to get you on, and now we have done it. So better late than never, I guess.
Yeah.
So first thing I want to talk about is your name, the Daily Cabbage. What exactly does that entail?
So how I thought of this, well, I sell Cabbage Patch Kids. And at the time that I had the idea to sell, just make it like my main point of focus, my husband and I, we were landscaping, we were cutting grass. And I've always been a social media type person, but I started finding the dolls and selling them. And one day we were landscaping and I got into his truck and I was like, you know what I should do? I should make an Instagram account and call it the Daily Cabbage and post $1 a day. And he's like, oh, that's a really good idea. So I did start doing that. But obviously now I post more than $1 a day, but that's how it all started.
Well, you're just looking to get them adopted, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
So, now, did you start when you were younger? Did you have some of your own?
So I did have, my parents did buy, I think we had 2 or 3, me and my sister growing up. But I was always into dolls, so to speak, but I was more into antique dolls. And how this actually started was on a complete fluke is how it happened. My husband and I went to an estate sale. He bought a Cabbage Patch doll, brand new, mint condition, new in the box. And we flipped it for $100 and some.
Wow.
And then we started finding them just at the bins or at thrift stores with no clothes on or anything. I would just wash them and sell them that way for $10. Then I was like, well, maybe if I put baby clothes on them, people will like them. And if I put bows in their hair, and then people started buying them. And then I was like, well, maybe I should get a sewing machine and start making my own clothes for them. And then that's what I'm doing now. So it's just crazy how it happened. It was a complete fluke. I was never a doll collector, so to speak, of Cabbage Patch dolls.
So you sew your own outfits. That's awesome.
I just started 3 months ago, or 3 months ago. And I bought the sewing machine. It sat in the box for a month. And I was like, I'm just going to send this back. I'm never going to use it. Mm-hmm. And my husband's like, just try it. Just try it. You're artistic. You're creative. You're good at things. So I did. And I just picked up on it. I've made so I don't know even how many now, but I make these dresses for them.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what I make.
That's amazing.
Yes, I have no idea how I even picked up on it, but yeah.
You need to start your own The Daily Cabbage clothesline. And,
well, that's basically what it is. I have my own website, thedailycabbage.com, where I sell the dolls and the clothes now. But I also am working on getting the tags for in them. You know how Nike has a tag, I'm working on getting those. So
wow.
Yes.
Now is the Cabbage Patch line, is it still around? Because I know it started back in the 80s?
Yes. So it was actually in the 70s, late 70s. They had the soft sculpture ones that were hand stitched and everything. And then I believe it was 1983 is whenever the whole craze came out with the ones that have the vinyl heads. And there is the Cabbage Patch Babyland General Hospital in Georgia where you can go tour it, and they still sell and make the bigger soft sculpture dolls.
Is that the ones that they're exclusions or what do you call them?
Well, they're called, they're Babyland General, exclusive. People send me so many things. So, and I have them all, everything that people send me, I have in a shelf on there. This is what they look like. Okay. They make them.
That's the exclusives?
Yes, they make them at Babyland General. They're called Little People. And they all have, they're handwritten tags. Somebody makes this there. They hand paint the eyes. They hand paint the blush. They root all the hair in here. They do all this, put all the clothes on and everything. These sell now at Babyland General. Like, these are one of a kind. They come out for different seasons or whatever. This was an Easter one. These are like $400. Yes.
And somebody sent that to you?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yep, as a Christmas gift.
Wow.
Yeah. And they have they use like special paint for the eyes and stuff. But yeah, these ones are like hundreds of dollars. So if you see these out in the wild, as they call it, you want to pick these up.
That's not the paint from South Africa, is it?
No, that paint is, well, it's not good. It didn't dry all the way. If you see that, if you see the dolls made in South Africa, they have like the cloudy eyes. So. It was some weird paint that they used. It didn't dry.
So I have some of my own, which you have seen off camera, and I had sent you a picture of, and I'm gonna let you evaluate mine. This is here's my first one.
Okay. Well, I mean, it has the original, looks like an original Cabbage Patch outfit, so that's good.
That's good.
And then, yeah, the pants, those are original. Now, they all came with shoes and socks, but...
Well, I'm missing those, but he is actually... He has the actual toes, I guess.
Yes, yeah. And it just all depends to what factory he's from. So, like, if you look at the tag on the side, it'll say, like, there'll be a letter in a circle. It'll be, like, the letter P or the letter...
J. Letter J.
Or J. That's Spain. That one's good. See, you know what's up.
Yeah. I've done my homework.
Yes. You know what's going on.
Let's see. Let me look here real quick.
P and OK are the most common.
I see OK.
Yeah. So that's a decent one. I mean, in that shape with no like socks or anything, I'd say, probably like $15 to $20 you would get for it.
Okay.
Now, like if I was gonna, take that doll, I would wash it. I would defuzz its hair. I'd give it new clothes and whatever.
You were talking about the tags, like right here. You can see that. That's the original tag. I'm assuming.
Right.
It says Cabbage Patch Kids.
Mm-hmm. And the clothes look in good shape too.
But, when you're out at a yard sale and you're looking at them, you're like, I don't know what I've got here. Like this one has...
Yeah, the jeans.
Yeah, the jeans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those... I actually have the little overalls right here that are like those.
Oh, look at us. We're 20. All right, so let's look at the tag here.
Now, that one has freckles on the cheeks, if I'm not mistaken.
It does.
Yeah, I could tell just by the eyes. Those ones, are more desirable. And also his hair looks fuzzy instead of looped. Mm-hmm. That's more desirable too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And
Cabbage Patch people call that fuzzy hair. It's like...
Fuzzy hair.
Yeah.
This one has a P on it.
Yeah. So the P is like the most common. Mm-hmm. But... that head mold, the freckles, and the hair, that makes it more desirable. That's probably like $25 to $30 like that.
Now, do these kids, do they have names? Because, like in some of those other dolls, the lines, they have names for them and things. But
yes.
They do?
So, they all came with birth certificates in the box with a name. And you could mail it in, I think, and change the name. But there's no way to tell what that one's name would have been.
Well,
it's crazy. You would think that they would have since the names were such a big thing, that they would have had some kind of number attached, you know what I mean, to it. So you could, but I guess also too, there's no Cabbage Patch serial number directory, there's for watches or whatever that you could look it up online.
Well, I kind of feel like you're the directory now. But
I guess so.
You were talking about getting the back to the patches. Are you trying to work with the company to get them sewed onto your clothes, or what are you trying to do?
I was just going to. I know that you can get them made, so I was just going to get them made online somewhere and just sew them in myself.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because they come on a strip, and then you just cut them and then sew them in.
Got it.
So that's what I was going to do with them.
So if you could take inventory or stock, do you know actually how many you have?
Right now, doll-wise, right now listed on eBay, probably around $75-ish.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you said that people, how often do they send Cabbage Patches to you to like donate or for you to
I would say like, I mean, sometimes people will just like send them to me saying, this is in my death pile. I don't want this, take it, do whatever you want to do with it. I know it's in good hands. Some people will like message me and I'll buy them off of them. Some people will just like, I'll just randomly get stuff in the mail or whatever. But like, I don't know, like a couple times a month, I guess I would say I get stuff.
One of mine I got from a thrift store. It was just sitting away from all the toys and everything. It was on a couch. I'm sure a kid had it and was walking around with it or something. Yeah. But it was just laying there, and I looked around and I was like, "Is this somebody's doll?" I don't know. And I flipped it over and it had a price on it. So,
oh yeah.
I purchased it, but the other one I did get at a yard sale. But I mean, I know in some you've been on some other videos, but like you're talking about, talk a little bit more about the fingers and things, because some of them are fakes. And what do you see? Because I'm kind of interested in what to look for or stay away from if you're at a yard sale, because the layperson's not going to know.
Yeah. So they can. So they're actually. I don't know if you've ever watched. There's a couple shows. I'm pretty sure. I know there's one that I've watched where they talk about Cabbage Patch Kids and how Xavier Roberts met this woman at a craft fair and he actually got the idea from her. And there was like a big lawsuit and everything like that. Well, now, and her name was, I think it's either Martha Nelson Thomas or Mary Nelson Thomas. I think it's Martha. And there are dolls that look like Cabbage Patch, and on the neck they say M.N. Thomas. And everyone considers those ones now fake, even though technically those are the original ones. But, they consider them fake. So that's one thing. Like you'll know it's not a Cabbage Patch if it says Martha Nelson Thomas on the neck. It's not that. All of them pretty much are going to have the original company, the Appalachian original Appalachian artworks on the neck. You're going to have that. You're going to have the tag on the side. Now, some people, cut the tags off for whatever reason, so that might not be there. But those are like the main things you want to look for. And after you've seen so many like real ones, you'll just know when it looks off.
So you walk up and you look and you go, "Oh, that's fake. That's fake.
Yeah.
That's fake."
Yeah, like I know automatically. Like, right. Yeah, people will send me ones and I'll be pictures and they're like, "Can you tell me how much this is worth?" I'm like, "Well, that's not real."
I can tell you it's great to snuggle with, I guess, but that makes me feel better. I mean, I thought I had a decent shot because, like you were talking about, this. Of course, you're always afraid of somebody just sewing something on, But
yeah, no, those ones are definitely authentic.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better. I chose wisely. Yay. That's good news because I was worried. I was like, "Oh, please, please, please."
Yeah.
Please.
I've come across like a couple pretty good fakes, but I mean, there's always like tip-offs.
Well, another thing that I seen you in another video, you were talking about the neck. The back of the neck where the numbers are. I don't know if you can see that on my video, but
yeah, I can't.
I mean, I never even knew that until I saw your video. I was like, "Oh wow!" And of course, you start picking it up and looking at it, and you go, "Okay, I think I've got a decent chance at this."
Yeah. If you ever see the one with the 19 on the neck that has like lots of teeth, that is the moneymaker right there.
Isn't there one that's a 17 too? It's got like 2 teeth.
Yes. Yeah. It's I think that one's the bottom 2 teeth.
Yeah.
And 17, 18, and 19 are like the most valuable ones.
So all the other ones, just throw them back and look for that.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't.
No, what I think, and I wish you would do, which, you could give us a reseller's guide to Cabbage Patch.
Yeah. I could do that.
You give us a score sheet And you just list them in order. Okay, this one right here, this mold, number 19, boom, 7,
Yeah, it's almost like I actually should post that. That's a good idea. I should post something like that on my Instagram.
Yes.
Because for somebody that's just selling on eBay, like generally, if you're just like selling everything, you're not like niche down. To you, it's probably not going to be that beneficial to buy just like a regular run of the mill doll. Because what I'm doing with it is, I'm cleaning it, I'm making it clothes, I'm buying it socks, I'm just changing the whole doll basically. And I sell 90% of my dolls through my Instagram. Wow. So my Instagram is basically advertising for my website, for my Etsy shop, for my eBay store. If I didn't have my Instagram, I would not sell nearly as many dolls as I do.
Now, do you find some people are like, well, this is not original, you're messing it up, and you put the wrong clothes on it? Do you find
so? Yeah. So originally, I was worried about that, because I was like, are people going to think, oh, well, this isn't the original outfit, or you're putting like actual real human preemie baby clothes on a doll, like, are people going to say anything? I have only ever had one negative comment ever about it. And it wasn't even that big of a thing. People, I just think, really like it because like Cabbage Patch dolls were so mass produced. I mean, now sometimes I get in a situation where I'm like, like, where am I going to get my next like 50 dolls from or whatever? Because I like every single day of my life, I am looking for Cabbage Patch dolls. Like,
how many did you find today?
Today I bought online. I think I got like 6. But yesterday I got from somebody else, tipped me off to somebody that had some for cheap. So I got like 5 the day before that. But on Monday, I got like 25 from somebody. So like, I'm like every single day, I'm like, where can I get dolls? Like, so I'm trying to get them like every single day. And a couple weeks ago, a fellow reseller who I had met at the reseller rally last year contacted me and they're like, I did this clean out. I have like literally 60 Cabbage Patch dolls and I just don't want them. They're dirty. They need cleaned, So we ended up like meeting up halfway from where he lived and where we lived. And I bought them all from him.
Wow.
Yeah. And believe it or not, and that was not even a month ago, I have pretty much sold, I'd say 75% of them.
That's what you call a good day.
Yes. I was like, oh yeah, we like FaceTimed. They showed me all of them. It was great. So because it's crazy. Some days, I'll sell 10 dolls in one day. The next day I'll sell like nothing. And then and then 2 days later, I'll sell like 10 more, or like I'll sell one here. But like some days are crazy. Like some days are just crazy.
So if you're trying to list a Cabbage Patch doll, do you need to put original Cabbage Patch? How do you need to go about putting that? Because if you just source it and you bring it home from the yard sale and you're like, well, I hope it's original. Well, it better be original, right? Number one.
Right.
And go through the things like you've talked about, look through those things and do your homework, due diligence. But when you're listing, like for your listings, what are some of the things that you include for your Cabbage Patch Kids?
So usually in the title of the description, I just will put 1980s Cabbage Patch Kid, just general, because the year and like there's like the year, it could be, there's the different color signatures on the little butt cheek of the doll. They're saying,
I didn't even know that. Let me look. Is that Xavier's signature on there?
Yes, it's Xavier Roberts, and there's like different colors.
This one's
on
green.
there. Yeah, so I'm not sure what year that is, but there is a guide online. So the colors and the years.
I didn't even know that. But yeah, the one that's got this number 31 on it, that's a green signature I have, and the other one is a black signature.
I'm pretty sure black is 1983. But there is a guide online, and the guide online has like all the years and all the signatures and stuff.
So to really set your doll apart would be to have his signature on it, maybe on the other side.
yeah. Well, people do have that. I actually have a bear because there were fur skin bears that they made too, Xavier Roberts and Dave, ADH Dave, formerly NC Picker Dave, found one. He called me. He was at an estate sale with Cabbage Patch Kids and was FaceTiming with me, asking me all about them. And then he ended up sending me the bear. So I have the bear with Xavier Roberts' actual signature on it.
Wow.
Like hand signed, yeah.
You're going to have like this museum set up.
I know. Well, when I went to get that one, I was like, oh no, because like I have a ceramic one underneath it with like a ceramic head and a ceramic arms, and it's sold to somebody, but I haven't sent it out yet. And I'm like, oh God, please don't fall off the shelf.
Well, I have to admit, I'm interested in the ones that I see in the frame back there. So we've got to get a better look at them. We have to. Show you them.
I had more back there, but I am like very like I can't have stuff everywhere, so I had to go put them in where they go. So this little boy, he's actually originally he was one of the birthday Cabbage Patch Kids, and in the mouth here, it wasn't a pacifier that they had; it was like a little party horn.
Okay.
But now when I got him,
he's got freckles again. That makes him more desirable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And he has like the flat top haircut. Mm-hmm. People like that too. But he was like really dirty. He didn't have his original clothes or anything, so I just gave him monster pajamas. And someone will buy him with these little monster pajamas.
I mean, it caught my eye. I was sitting here looking at it.
Yeah.
I've got to see it.
Yeah, I just listed him earlier, and then this one, I made the dress and everything for this one. So again, this one had like no clothes or anything, and it was like filthy dirty, and I sewed the dress for it, and I gave it bows and everything and little socks.
Oh, I see your little, is it a tag on there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cabbage Patch tag, or the Daily Cabbage, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I started doing with them. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put the tag on the dress for now until I get the actual fabric tags to sew in there.
If you could, let me see the stand that you have to hold them.
Oh, sure.
Can we see that?
Yeah. For the longest time, I didn't have a doll stand, and I was like, what am I doing? I need a stand. It just goes around like their waist, and it's adjustable, so it can go to like different heights.
Now, did you just find that online and purchase those?
They do sell these like on Amazon or eBay or whatever. But I get everything on a fluke. There were like 5 of these in a bag of dolls that I bought off somebody.
You're like, I'm going to make that work. Yeah.
And I was like, this is great because these are like $12 online.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being frugal and thrifty
right?
and all that stuff. I mean, now maybe later on I'm going to be in there trying to find some old coat hangers and trying to twist the wires around and make my own.
Right now, these, the last time somebody was asking me about these, I saw them, and they were like $12 or something. I'm sure they have them at like craft stores and stuff too.
Now,
probably.
Does that lever, does it pinch around them? However you take it.
Oh, yeah. And you can stretch it or whatever.
Okay.
So, and I think I have like a couple with wood bottoms too. But yeah, it works really good for them.
Well, let's go back to the listing because we were talking about that.
Oh yeah.
So like 1980s list.
Oh yeah. So I usually put 1980s Cabbage Patch Kid, and then I usually put the eye color, the hair color. So I put like blonde, blue eyes, and then I'll put like describe the outfit that it's wearing. So like for this one, I put, blonde hair, blue eyes, fruit dress. So
Okay.
that's basically what I'll do.
Okay.
And if it's something like, actually too, if it's something like more rare, like the head mold, like the head mold 19 that people are looking for, I'll put that in the title also, because people are Googling, they're searching for the head mold sometimes, and they're just typing in like head mold 19 or HM 19. That's how people that collect look for it.
Now, on the head molds, does it have their numbers?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll need to go and look at that for sure and identify
Yep.
everything that's on that for sure. I was going to drift back. Like these are the hard plastic. But you said in the one in the 70s is a soft mold. Is the soft mold, those are, I would assume, are very desirable as well.
Yes, depending on, again, like the features. Now, some of them are worth more than others. Like, for example, like African American ones, they didn't make as many, so those ones are obviously more desirable because they're more rare. But yeah, the faces on these ones, they're actually vinyl, is what they're made out of.
Okay.
This is vinyl, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, the cloth ones, like the older ones, like this. There's like so many out there, and they're all like one of a kind pretty much, because like I said, they're all like hand painted and everything. But I know there's ones with like real big red fuzzy hair, and those ones are real desirable, again, like with freckles. People love the freckles and stuff like that. Those make them more desirable.
Well, I want everybody to go see you on Instagram and check out how you have it all laid out, because there's doll after doll after doll after doll.
Yes, yes.
And it's set up neat because you have an adoption. Now, when you do sell these, do they get adoption papers?
So I have not done that yet, and I was debating on whether or not I should do it. And I do think, not because I was like, my whole thing was like, I guess I could just make a certificate and they could fill in whatever name they wanted it to be. You know what I mean? Because I don't really want to name someone's doll. So I was thinking about doing that, because I have seen people do that with dolls that they refurbish, because other people out there do this too that I've found. And they call it not a birth certificate, but they call it a rebirth certificate.
A rebirth certificate.
Yeah. And they have, this was refurbished by such and such on this date or whatever. So I have thought about doing that. But I just have so much on my plate that I just don't know if I can add anything else to it.
Well, like you said, you could, give them the certificate and they can fill it out.
Right. Yeah. If I could just make generic,
right. You just
ones.
make a generic one and have like the Daily Cabbage on there, your logo, and
that's what I'm thinking of doing eventually. Because my husband did get, we're making these little tags here. Like he got like an industrial printer, and I make these tags, and he makes me like these thank you cards and such with on the back my QR code for my Instagram that I send out. But I have to cut these still. I just have stuff piled everywhere.
I'm going to take you back. Let's say you're heading back to 1983. Okay, and you're going to go to I'm going to say the Kmart.
Okay.
Okay, and it's right before Christmas. It's a mad dash. Because I remember people going crazy over these dolls.
Yeah.
And it was free for all, basically fighting to get these. What is the doll that you go after in that box? It's in mint condition. Remember, it's 1983. You're running into Kmart. What doll do you go after? What is the whole?
For me personally, or do you think that that is worth the most money?
No, for you personally.
For me personally, there is. I would probably go for. I like the boy dolls personally. I do sell a lot more girls than boys, but I would probably go for one with the fuzzy hair like you have. And there is this pair of overalls, original overalls like him, that have a teddy bear on them. And they say Cabbage Patch Kids on them, and there's like a brown teddy bear on them. And those overalls are like one of the most desirable outfits. And like that's my favorite outfit from all of the Cabbage Patch.
Now, have you created that look?
I have not.
That is on your to-do list, isn't it?
Yes, I have. I have not, and I also have never had those overalls. I've never been able to get a pair of them. I mean, they're out there. They're pricey. You know, I feel like you could buy a pair of those overalls without a doll and they'd be like $35.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just haven't. There are certain outfits that are more desirable.
Well, if you can land those overalls, maybe you could mimic them.
Yeah, a lot of people
in the style, and then you can go around and
yeah, I don't know. I'm trying. I'm trying to get. I mean, I'm pretty good at like sewing the basic stuff. I feel like the overalls might be out of my skill set, but I know I definitely could probably master it eventually.
I don't know. From everything I've seen, Sarah, I believe you.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I have no qualms. You're very creative. You're very.
I am a perfectionist too, so that's sometimes to my detriment, but
that can be a battle. You got to battle. I'm basically amazed at how you are able to refurbish these, and kudos to you.
Thank you.
To rebirth, like you said.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I have a high water bill because my washing machine is going constantly.
I bet your husband's like, yeah.
He is, let me tell you, him and my mother are my two biggest supporters. He is so great. Like, he has helped me with sewing. He has, like, the time I have an idea, he's like, that's a good idea. You should try that. You should do that. When I said, I'm going to buy a sewing machine, he's like, you definitely should do that. How much money is it going to be? He does not care. Every single thing I want to do with it, he is just like, do it, try it. He's so supportive. And my mom is the same way. She's like, she went out to dinner with her friends. I guarantee when I call her back, she tells me, I was showing my friend your doll and I was showing her this. They are just like, they're my two biggest supporters.
Now you can tell her you're going to be on a podcast, and we got the Cabbage Patch dolls to talk. So
I was just telling her that. She's like, oh no, I just wanted to call you about my dinner. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's fine.
Thank you for joining us here on the Slim Flippers podcast.
No problem.
We really do appreciate you coming in and giving us some of your time and definitely your knowledge.
No worries.
Well, that is all the time that we have today on the Slim Flippers podcast. Again, Sarah, thank you so much, and we hope you have a great evening.
Thanks, you too.